Hello, beautiful people. Well, a very good afternoon to you from the city of Manassas. Today, we're going to be discussing a very engaging topic. USCIS made a recent announcement concerning all green card holders or people who are lawful permanent residents. So, in this video, we're going to be taking a look at how green card holders or lawful permanent residents can actually extend the validity of their green cards without having to visit their local USCIS field offices. Okay, so USCIS has announced a mail delivery process to extend your green card. So we'll go through that in this video, and we will show you how to do this. Okay. So we're using the memo that was released by USCIS just a few days ago. So USCIS announces additional mail delivery process for receiving ADIT stamp. So you may ask, what's an ADIT stamp? An ADIT stamp is an alien documentation identification and telecommunications stamp. It's also known as the I-551 stamp, and that is actually the stamp that shows that you are a green card holder or you are a lawful permanent resident. That stamp is actually put in your passport. Okay, it's put in your passport. If for some reason you don't have a copy of your green card, or you have some receipt notice that purports to extend your status as a lawful permanent resident or as a green card holder, but that extension itself is expired now, then you can actually visit you can actually have the added stamp granted to you in your passport, and you can use that to work, you can use that to travel, you can use that as evidence of your lawful permanent resident status. Okay, so let's get started. Lawful permanent residents may receive temporary evidence of their lawful permanent resident status by mail rather than by physically visiting a field office to receive an added stamp. Okay, so in the past or previously, we've been doing, if you need another stamp, you have to visit your local field office. You go in there and then they have to stamp in your passport the stamp I-551 to show that you're a lawful permanent resident. But now they are actually introducing the mail delivery process. So you no longer have to walk into the field office. They can send it to you by mail. USCIS will do that. Now, lawful permanent residents are entitled to evidence of status and may require temporary evidence of status in the form of an added stamp if number one, they don't have their green card, or number two, they filed certain type of applications that are still pending, and they need to demonstrate that they're actually green card holders or lawful permanent residents, or they have lawful permanent resident status. So, if, for example, you filed the form I-90, which is an application to replace your green card if it's lost, or you're just renewing, it's a 10-year green card and you are renewing, that's the form you fill out. And once you fill the form I-90, normally people who have their form, let's say they have 6 months validity left on their green card. Let's say you have a 10-year green card. This is 2023. So let's say you had your 10-year green card. You had a green card that was issued in 1993. Let's say January 1993. And this green card expired January 2023. Oh, that would be no. Let's say January 2003. That was 10 years. Then another 10 years, 2013. Then another 10 years, 2023. Oh my gosh, I skipped decades. Okay. So let's say you had a green card that was issued in January 2013. Now, you have 10 years validity and then it expires. You will fill out the form I-90 to renew the green card, and normally you should do that 6 months before it actually expires. So you filled out this form and you sent it, and you guys know there's now a huge backlog. So you filled out the form I-90. Let's say you filled it out, maybe, I don't know, maybe last year, August 2022, and it's been submitted, and you do not have a response yet, right? You will be given a 2-year extension, a 24-month extension on the validity of your green card. So now your LPR status will be set to expire January 2025. Now, from January 2025, if you still do not have the decision on your I-90, then you're going to be needing to do this added stamp if you want to show your employers that you're actually in lawful status and you have valid status, you can work, you want to travel. you will then go through this process of getting an added stamp to show that you're still an LPR status and you have a pending application. Okay, so the form I-90. Now, the form I-751 is petition to remove conditions if you have a 2-year green card based on, for example, marriage. And then the N400, application for naturalization. If it's still pending, they usually give you. So let me backtrack a little bit. If you file the form I-751, it takes a very long time. So they'll issue you with a receipt notice that has a 48-month expiration from the date of the expiration of your green card. So it's a 4-year extension. The receipt notice of the I-751 is an additional 4-year extension to your green card. Now, if that 4-year extension now expires without you still having a decision on the I-751, then you need an added stamp to show continued proof of continued residency or proof of lawful permanent residency. If you fill out the citizenship application, then you don't need to renew your green card, right? Let's say your green card was valid, you filled out citizenship, it's taking a long time. They also will issue you with a receipt notice that's valid for 24 months, extends your green card or your lawful permanent resident status for an additional 2 years. And then if that expires, you still don't have a decision, then you need an added stamp to travel, to work, or to do whatever it is to demonstrate your status. Okay. So now when lawful permanent residents call, let's find out how to actually request this. Let me see if I can, let me scroll down. Let me scroll down so that we can see very clearly. I've been able to figure out how to zoom in. Okay. So we've finished this one. Yeah. So as I said, your either your I-90, I-751 or N400 application is still pending and your green card and extension notice have expired. Then you can do the added stamp. Okay. Okay. Now let's find out, how do you request? How do you do the request for this? Now, when you call USCIS, you call the USCIS contact center. USCIS contact center, they will have an immigration services officer. They will first of all, they will verify your identity, the caller's identity. They will verify your physical mailing address. And they will verify, to make sure that UPS and FedEx can actually send you mail. You can receive UPS or FedEx Express mail. Then number 3, what they will do is they will then submit a request to the USCIS field office to issue you with the added stamp. Alternatively, if they're not able to verify your information, then they will say go in person. So they will then schedule an in-person appointment for you, the green card holder, to actually visit the USCIS field office for your added stamp. Okay. Now, if an in-person appointment is not needed, USCIS field office will review the request. So now the contact center would have forwarded this information to the field office. Then the field office will also review the request that has been forwarded by the contact center, USCIS contact center. Then they will review the request and then they will mail the applicant a form I-94 with an added stamp, a DHS seal, and a printed photo of you, the green card holder, or of the lawful permanent resident that is obtained from USCIS systems. Remember that normally they have a picture of you when you go do your biometrics. So they'll issue you with that, the I-94 with the added stamp. USCIS may issue temporary evidence of status in the form of added stamp. USCIS determines if the requester should receive an added stamp and has the discretion to determine the validity period based on the lawful permanent resident situation, not to exceed 1 year, unless otherwise specified by regulation or policy. So normally it's for a period of 1 year. The added stamp is for 1 year. So they have discretion to determine the period of validity. So they could give you 6 months based on the situation, but generally up to 1 year. Some lawful permanent residents will still need to appear in person at a USCIS field office to receive the temporary evidence of their status, including those who have, if you have urgent needs, for example, you have a funeral, you have to leave in a week's time, you can't wait until they mail you, your added stamp, then you may need to visit a USCIS field office. You have to demonstrate the urgency of your need, and then the call center can schedule an appointment for you at your local field office. If you do not have a usable photo in USCIS system, then you have to appear in person. Number 3, if your identity or your address cannot be confirmed, then you're going to be asked to appear in person so that they can confirm your address and identity. Now, the new process, it will allow USCIS to actually issue temporary evidence of lawful permanent resident status in a timely way without requiring a scheduled appointment at the field office, thereby reducing the burden on applicants. And then as a result, this will increase availability of field office resources. They can continue to conduct interviews and, you know, continue to assist in kind of clearing the backlog that already exists. So, guys, that's the latest news. Very welcome. These are all strategies that USCIS is using to reduce backlog. So it's very welcome. It is very welcome. I mean, anything for the cases to actually proceed more. So this is actually great news so that they can just clear rather than people forming long queues, sitting there, just trying to get a stamp when it can be processed virtually and mailed to you, and then we all move on. So that's the latest update for all persons with pending green card applications or whose green cards have expired. If you need our help, please don't hesitate to contact us 802-780-0564. And we will be very excited to help you. My name is AK. I'm the founding attorney here at AK Poku Law PLLC. We are a law firm based in Virginia, United States. We represent clients all around the US and all around the world with their US immigration law matters. If you guys haven't yet subscribed to this channel, please hit that button, subscribe, like, share, comment, drop your questions. If you've enjoyed this video, just drop an emoji of the US flag. Let me know. Drop your questions in the comment section as well, and we will be happy to respond to it on one of our live sessions or one of our recorded sessions. Thank you all for joining. We'll see you in the next video. Take care and bye.